Hello everyone, my name is Vivek and I'm the automation architect for Leapwork. So this is a short video where I will be showcasing you how Leapwork performs automation on the D365 application. I have taken the finance and operation as a module in D365 and I'll start with this short slides here so that you all get the chance to know about Leapwork first, a very short 2-3 slides, and then I'll simply go and showcase you a live demo. So let me just quickly show you the slides and move to the next one, please. Just give me a second. So this particular slide shows you how Leapwork performs, and if you see, it's a complete visual paradigm with no code, and that is absolutely no code platform, and the business users can easily automate by using Leapwork. Which means that let's say you want to write a code for Start Web Browser. Now, in cases where you have different automation tools, you can write a code like in Java, in Python, in C# or any other language. But here in Leapwork, you can simply see the first block which shows Start Web Browser, which simply takes two parameters like Chrome, which is the browser name. We can select in the drop down the other browsers as well, and the URL, which could be any URL that you want to automate, and so on and so forth. There are more than 200 plus Leapwork blocks that can be used for creation of the test cases, and that is so easy for any business user. So let me just give you an example of a functional user who knows the application like D365 or maybe any other application like SAP or maybe Salesforce. So those all applications are someone who knows those applications. They can easily work on the workflows. They can know where the data going from one place to other, but they are not familiar with automation. They can do the manual testing, but they're not familiar with automation, and that is where Leapwork comes in. They can easily record the flow by using the Leapwork smart recorder that we have, and they can easily create the scripts. And that is something which I'm going to showcase you as well. The architecture first. So the architecture gives you, we have three different components. At the bottom, you see the Leapwork GUI, which is also called as Leapwork Studio, where user can design their flows by using the different blocks that I talked about. Then we have the Leapwork controller, which is also the server. We have the SQL Server database at the backend, which stores everything, every data, including the parameters and maybe the elements, the attributes, and everything. And then we have the bot, which is the Leapwork agent. Now this is used just for the execution purpose. So we can install these agents on different other machines and trigger our Leapwork suites directly on these agents. So these agents are again can be also utilized for parallel execution. So you have, let's say, 5 agents, and let's say one agent can do the job for you in 100 hours, maybe let's say a suite of 100 hours. But if you have 5 agents and if you are running in parallel, those complete 100 hours can be bifurcated or divided into just, if you are using 5 agents, it will be 20 hours of work. So that also reduces a lot of time, and our customers are using it that ways. We have APM server. So if you are automating any mobile based applications, let's say for Mac, which is connected to iPhone or iPad, so we can connect the APM server with that, and Leapwork can easily interact with mobile applications to automate. We have Headspin server as well. The Headspin is a kind of provider which provides the devices on cloud, and that is integrated with Leapwork seamlessly. So we can create our mobile test cases and execute it there. And some of the other connected different kind of integrations that we have, like CI/CD and defect management. So all the different important and most popular tools out there, like Azure DevOps, Jenkins, TeamCity, Bamboo, Jira, or maybe you can think of any other software, and that is integrated from day one. Now, remote cloud agents are also there, as I talked about Headspin, but we also have for the web-based applications like Browser Stack, we have integrations with SauceLab, GridElastic, Lambda Test, and an integrated or in-house Selenium Grid can also be utilized. So the workflow that I've created today that I will be showcasing now will be like, it is creating a new customer in D365 application, and then validate if the customer is created successfully. And finally, with using the same customer details, we'll be creating a sales order. So that is how the flow will go. So let me jump to the demo now. Let me just switch off this thing. So this is the UI of Leapwork. Let me close this first, and maybe the left-hand section, this is the one where you have, different, kind of folders, and that folder structure is something which can be defined and designed by the user itself. Like it gives something which is as per the users, they can define and design it. But once you create a new flow here, flow is a test case in Leapwork. This is how it will look like, and you have the start block by default coming up. But I was talking about the different building blocks, and if I just pull out the screen wire here, and if I just expand this section, so these are the blocks used for desktop based application. Any Windows based application can be automated by using these different blocks. Next set of blocks are the web application block, and this is where we can automate any web browser based application. So these all blocks are used for that, like click web element, get web drop down, get web number, and all those different blocks are there. Similarly for mobile, the mobile apps, both Android and iOS are supported. So these are different blocks for that. Some of the image based blocks are also there, the OCR blocks. Like if you want to work on an application which is Citrix based, then that is something which we can use the image based blocks. And then we have some of the other variables and logic blocks are there. So the first thing which I'll do is I'll simply paste, or maybe just I'll copy one of the, or call the block which is start web browser, because I want to start a browser. Or before doing that, let me quickly copy it from the other flow, because that is there including some of my other details for D365. So I'll come back here and paste it. And this block, if you see, there is a default browser which is Chrome selected, and the web address URL is also there. Now you might be knowing that for D365 we have the MFA already there, and in most of our accounts and in the different kind of the environments like UAT and all. For this thing, we can also automate MFA if the code is coming up on the mobile app or the authenticator app. We can automate that, but the option is also there where we can provide a profile where it doesn't take any kind of maybe your credentials and directly logs you in. So for that we have the user profile section. We can give that, and we can do it that way also. So that is the same thing which I have done. So let me run this to see how it looks like. So what this will do, this will launch the browser and will log me into the D365 environment, and this is done. So let me quickly show you that. Okay, let me run it again because it was a browser already opened. So let me run it again. And now you see it is launching the browser and taking me inside my D365 environment, and it's logged in. So already logged in with my name here. So once the login is done, if I pull out the screen wire and start the recorder, the first option, we have the other recorders like mobile and SAP and green screen, but I'll select start web recorder. And you see now it is recognizing the elements on the application like a span or maybe a button or a link, a div. So every element is being recognized here and input. So, and these all different elements are there inside any web browser application, and Leapwork recognizes that, the recorder recognizes that, and that is where we can easily record the flow. So let's say I want to maybe just doing some random stuff here. So click on this particular div here. And once I do that, it gives me that a proper set of actions that I want to perform. So let's say I want to click on this. Maybe I want to do something else. So there are different other blocks, but the first one is generally the one which I want to do. So I'll use a click web element here and click on apply. So what it will do, it will click on it and it will take me through inside this particular employee development section. From there onwards, I can do some next step of actions. Maybe if I click on links here, again, I have an option to click on the web element, click on apply. Right, and maybe I can click some other options here. Inside goals, again, a click web element, apply. And if you want to get something, you want to grab something, there is a get web text or get web number as different blocks which can be utilized. And then once the page opens, maybe you want to fill some data, you want to create a new goal here. So again, you can use a click web element here, apply, and the form gets open, and then you can start filling up the form. So just imagine a person, as I was mentioning earlier, a person who knows this application can simply do this kind of testing by starting the recorder, and at the same time on the back end, the automation script is automatically getting generated. So that is something which makes automation very easy for any such users. Even the business analyst can also create the scripts by using these different methodologies. So let's say you want to click something again. I've selected, although this particular field you can also type in, but simply you can either type or you can select the clicks and you can do that. I'll select the button here, click web element again, apply, and this field is filled up here with the same worker. So exactly the same way we can keep recording, but let me now save the recorder, and you see all the actions that I performed are kind of recorded in this way, right? Click web element. The best option always is to rename these blocks so that the new user can easily understand what's happening. So let's say I'll use it, click goals, right? And if I want to just fill up, so enter uh, goal name or something. So it is always good. So when the execution is done in the logs, we will see that what is happening and what kind of action is being performed on the application at that moment. So we can always rename the blocks, and this is how the script is created. We can always add more blocks, and then once that complete recording is done, we can create subflows. Now subflows is basically a reusable component. Just say, let's say I'm creating a new kind of goal here. So what I can do, I can select these 3 or 4 blocks, right click, create a subflow, and give it a name, create new goal, which means that I have created the subflow, and this is a reusable component now. All those blocks have been combined together to create one subflow, and this subflow can be reused again by the other users who are working with me on this particular project. So let's say another user comes in, he creates another test case, and he wants to use that, so he can just simply search for that particular subflow, like create new goal, and that is added on. So no need to re-record that particular set of actions again. So that again saves a lot of time. And in future, let's say in this particular subflow, you want to add more blocks. So it is just about going inside the subflow, edit subflow, and you can just add more blocks into it here. And that will be applied to all the flows or test cases wherever this particular subflow has been used. And how we can check that? If I maybe go to that subflow, right click, show usage. So currently this particular subflow is being used by in 2 flows, TC21 and test case 1. So we can always check that as well. Now, this is how we can record it, but a flow once recorded, once created properly, this is how it will look like. And you see that this is the same flow that I talked about in my slide. It's launching the 365 application. Then it's creating a new customer, validating the customer is created. Then it navigates to all sales order section. Then it creates a new sales order and add sales order details into it. Now we also have an option to give data. So the data can come from any external data source like an Excel sheet. It can be a CSV file, a database, or maybe any other source like an API call and something. So right now we have added a read Excel block here. And if I show you how it looks like, this is how it looks like. We have all the different parameters as part of headers and the values inside it. Now in the read Excel block, if you see, those headers becomes the blue connectors, and those blue connectors are going inside the parameters or the blocks where I want to fill in. So if I just open this particular subflow, you see that there are blocks inside it, and inside the blocks you will see that there are these different input parameters created, like item number, quantity, unit price. So these are all input parameters created, and these are being filled up by these blue connectors. So the green connectors are the process connectors, like how my process will go from one point to the other, but the blue connectors are the input and output parameters. So this particular right hand side parameter, which is blue, that is the output parameter going from read Excel to this particular subflow, and the left hand side parameter is an input parameter, and it takes as an input. So this is how the connectors work. So without much of a wait here, let me click on the run button and see how it works. It has automatically closed the other browser that was opened earlier, and now it will launch the browser. Again, it will, since we have applied a profile, so it will log me in directly. It uses those cookies at the backend. And there is no static weight required. So at any point in each and every block, we have those different weights, intelligent weight options there. So you can see it is now going inside sales and marketing section. It has clicked on it, now waiting for it to load up. And once that is loaded up, it will click on expand all button so that all the values and everything gets expanded. Now it has clicked on that particular item of all customers. It is in the all customers view, creating a new customer. And this customer 2160, that is created by the kind of, randomly generated number. So we have some generators as well. Those are random generators. Like you want to create a random number between, let's say, 1 to 1000 or maybe 1 to 10,000. It can generate any random number between that. Any random password or a string can be generated by the other block that we have. And we also have a generate data and generate date and time block as well. So it can generate the data and time as well. So this particular customer is created. Now it will validate it here. If it is created and successfully, it will show up here. So it is just searching with that same customer 2160. It filters it out and it is finding it here. So it found it, it passes. Now click on the home button. And with this same customer, which is 2160, it will create a sales order now. So it is going inside the sales order option here and has clicked on that particular sales order button. Now it's launching the sales order, all sales orders. Yep. And if you see, it is there on that screen. We'll again click on the new button on the top and we'll fill up the details. And these details all are coming from an Excel sheet, as I showed you. So the customer is exactly the same. So that output coming from the previous particular customer, number, that is saved in a variable, which is being used here as part of the flow. Now the details, they are filled up here. The sales responsible person is coming up here. Clicked on the OK button. It's waiting, and now it will fill up the other details. You see at the bottom, it's doing that quantity, price, and then there is one field which is not there in this particular section. So what it will do, it will click on these three dots here and insert a new column that is for site. So it's waiting for that to load up. So what it is doing here is it's trying to search for the field site, and it clicks on the field. It's kind of highlighted here. It will select the checkbox and click on update. And once that is there, now it's added up here and it adds a category and it adds a value 1 there as well. So once the complete flow is done, we can see the results in the reporting section here. So this is the section where we have all the reports and everything saved. It also includes the the different logs here. So if you go to the very end, you see it says a pass, and then we have different blocks along with the where it is clicking. So if I just expand it, if I click on this, you see it highlights the element, or it gives us the area where it is working upon. So they see quantity is something which it is working on. The complete video is getting recorded, and we can always play the video back and see what is happening in the complete execution time. And which means that if there is any kind of issues, we can simply right click and go to this video folder file and give this video to our developers to see what went wrong, and they can fix it easily. So this was about the short demo on D365 application of finance and operation flow. I hope you liked it, and thank you for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.